investment. Collaborating further. The other party had no objections to handing over director Wang to him and placing him in his company. Qin Fei feigned gratitude, saying, "Thank you, Qin family. Director Wang's strength will surely be impressive in the mainland. This time, your film will easily gross several hundred million in box office revenue." The other party chuckled, but still smiled and flattered him, saying, "I only make a little money. How can I compare with young Master Qin? I heard that young Master Qin can make profits of tens of billions of Hong Kong dollars in a single transaction in the Hong Kong stock market. Young Master Qin casually makes tens of billions of Hong Kong dollars with every move. This ability is unmatched by any movie." The crowd was surprised, realizing what young Master Qin actually did. They never expected that this young Master Qin was involved in finance. No wonder he is so young and so wealthy. Could it be that he is in Hong Kong finance? Hong Kong finance is indeed a gold mine, much stronger than the entertainment industry. And a large portion of Hong Kong's GDP relies on the financial sector every year. Indeed, those talents are truly insane. Just in the past few days, the Hang Seng Index fluctuated. Even a single point is worth hundreds of billions, even thousands of billions of Hong Kong dollars. I wondered why this young Master Qin could stand shoulder to shoulder with the Chun family at such a young age. It turns out he is a financial genius from Hong Kong. One person had already noticed Qin Fei, the top director in mainland China, who came to Hong Kong this time to seek investment for his film. After all, he knew that there were rich people everywhere in Hong Kong, and attending this celebration party only confirmed what he had in mind. Originally, he planned to collaborate with the Chun family's entertainment company. But once he noticed this young Master Qin, he realized he was the real wealthy person of his dreams. The Chun family could not compare to this young Master Qin. The Chun Family Entertainment Company only had a box office share of over 1 billion Hong Kong dollars per film, and it was difficult to produce a few films in a year. Moreover, there was a possibility of losses if he really sought funding from the Chun family. Getting 10 million Hong Kong dollars would be hard, but he felt that this young Master Qin, let alone 10 million, could easily come up with 20 million renminbi. So, he raised a glass and approached Qin Fei with a smile, greeting him. "This is young Master Qin. I heard that young Master Qin's girlfriend is from the mainland. I'm also from the mainland. I've spent a few years in Beijing and just recently came to Hong Kong. Miss Yang, we are also compatriots from the mainland." He smiled and flattered Yang Yi. Qin Fei remained relatively unchanged, while Yang Yi's expression changed. Upon seeing the visitor, she became tense, never expecting it to be Director Zhang. She immediately became nervous, pulling Qin Fei's arm, excitedly saying, "Cousin, it's Director Zhang, a very famous director from the mainland." Qin Fei was accustomed to such situations. What big names had he not seen? He calmly glanced at Director Zhang with an expression of indifference. After all, the other party was seeking his help, not the other way around. Chapter 45. Looking for a big director. Again, Qin Fei certainly knew who the other party was and was aware of their reputation. But their fame was just average at the moment. In 2008, the entertainment industry in mainland China was still developing, and the other party was merely a small director looking for investment. Meanwhile, he was a powerful tycoon in Hong Kong. And Zhang Yimou understood that some financial players in Hong Kong indeed had money. There were wealthy people everywhere in Hong Kong, and these rich individuals were more formidable than those in mainland China. With a century of glory, even a small amount of money from these wealthy individuals could significantly open up the entertainment market in the mainland. Zhang Yimou came to seek investment, and despite Qin Fei being younger than him, he still put on a humble demeanor. "Mr. Qin, it's an honor to meet you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Zhang Yimou, and I am a director from mainland China. I am planning to shoot an art film, but I lack a bit of funding. I am willing to offer 100 of the box office revenue as profit sharing in exchange for the investment. I just want to make this film." Qin Fei was quite surprised. It seemed that this big director genuinely wanted to make a movie. Otherwise, he wouldn't have mentioned giving away 100 of the box office share. He was only taking a director's salary and didn't need a share of the box office. That was his desire to make films. As long as he could get his script made, he would be satisfied. Although Qin Fei was eager to agree, he knew that directly nodding would make it difficult to negotiate terms. He put on a troubled expression and said, "Director Zhang, you want to make an art film? But in Hong Kong, no art film has made a profit over the years. You know this well. I am an investor, and if I know something won't make money, why should I invest? Zhang Yimou's expression turned awkward, and he was momentarily at a loss for words. Qin Fei was right. Art films really didn't make money. They could win awards easily and often received international accolades, which was precisely why many capital tycoons were unwilling to invest. They preferred to fund popcorn comedies that could generate box office revenue, regardless of how nonsensical the script was. Making money was the priority. As for art films, no matter how many were made, they often flopped. Investing $5 million could easily result in a loss of $5 million. Who would want to make such films? Who would dare to invest? At least for now, no one did. In an instant, Zhang Yimou felt very disappointed and utterly hopeless. He thought this trip to Hong Kong had been a waste. Before meeting Qin Fei, he had already asked several investors, and upon hearing he wanted to make an art film, they immediately rejected him. Although there were some willing to provide funding, he needed at least 2 million renminbi, while some were only willing to offer 200,000 HKD. 200,000 HKD was less than 180,000 RMB. What would be made with that? Nothing at all. With a face full of disappointment, Zhang Yimou planned to leave, but Qin Fei, seeing him about to go, couldn't help but continue. As someone who was reborn, how could Qin Fei not be shrewd? Noticing the other party's disappointment, he immediately threw out a chip. Director Zhang, wait a moment. I heard from my cousin that you are a very famous director in mainland China. I believe in your abilities. In fact, investing in a few of your films is not out of the question. However, I would like you to help me develop my company. Zhang Yimou turned around, his eyes lighting up with excitement as he saw a glimmer of hope. Mr. Qin, what do you mean? Qin Fei put on a helpless expression and said, my company has just been established, and there's only one director, Wang. There are too few people. So, if Director Zhang is willing to join my company, I can cover the funding for your art film as long as it's not too much. But you would need to sign a contract with my company to become our director. This meant he could only make films for his company. Zhang Yimou hesitated. This would tie his life to one company. If the company lacked strength, wouldn't his life be over? However, after thinking it over, he recalled that Qin Fei was praised for earning tens of billions of HKD in financial profits. It was impossible for him not to be able to produce a few million RMB. It was absolutely impossible. Understanding this, he immediately felt relieved. His worth was not high enough to consider such matters. Having someone willing to invest was already a stroke of luck. He fell silent for a few seconds before smiling and saying, I am honored to join Mr. Qin's company. It is truly wonderful to cooperate with you. By the way, about my art film, the other party began discussing the budget. Qin Fei casually waved his hand. Go ahead, how much do you want? Zhang Yimou gritted his teeth and raised his hand. 2 million renminbi, and I can make this film. Qin Fei didn't care at all and waved his hand again, saying, I'll give you a budget of 3 million renminbi, plus 5 of the box office as your director's share. However, there is one more thing. I will arrange the lead roles for the film. Zhang Yimou's eyes lit up. Although he felt a bit unhappy about the arrangement of the roles, he knew that other production companies would have similar requirements. He nodded and said casually, if it's Miss Yang, she is indeed very suitable for the female lead in my film. Qin Fei wanted to laugh, smirking as he said, no, Yang, he has other commitments and is not available. It's another female lead. She's also from mainland China, so don't worry. She's very beautiful. Absolutely no problem. Yang, he was already a big star, and she didn't need to make an art film. This opportunity could be given to his other girlfriend instead. Zhang Yimou could only agree. Even though he didn't know who it was, he was still willing to trust Qin Fei's judgment. Most importantly, after the two reached an agreement, Qin Fei directly transferred 3 million renminbi to him via bank transfer, which was nearly 4 million Hong Kong dollars converted into RMB. When the money arrived in his account, he picked up his phone to check the notification and was incredibly excited. With money, any problem could be solved. He immediately became animated and incredibly happy. Mr. Qin, I will start preparing the crew right away. I have been planning this film for a long time and want to start shooting as soon as possible. I will send over the lead actress's script. I will rush back to the mainland today and get everything ready. The other party was indeed very eager. Once he received the funds, he didn't want to linger for a moment and wanted to return to the mainland immediately. Qin Fei was very satisfied. The other party was definitely a big director who was passionate about films. Even if a film didn't make money, producing a well-known film could help his company gain some popularity. Moreover, a film that could win awards would increase the female lead's notoriety. Even if the film didn't make money, enhancing the female lead's fame could help the female star secure lucrative commercial activities, which could earn a lot of money. These earnings were not much different from box office revenue. This was also why many stars were willing to invest in joining a good director's crew. As long as it was a big director, they could not only forego their salary, but also directly invest money to join. Fame was crucial in the future domestic entertainment industry. Signing two big directors at once for his company made Chin Fei very pleased. It seemed his entertainment company had a brighter future ahead. Meanwhile, watching Chin Fei and director Zhang finalize their agreement, especially regarding the arrangement of the female lead, Yang Yi leaned over to him and couldn't help but ask, "Cousin, who did you choose for the female lead?" "Cousin, do you have another woman? Which vixen is it?" Pouting her lips, she observed him keenly. Chin Fei pinched Yang Yi's cheek and smiled. "Don't think too much. My company needs to develop. I can't just sign one star. I want to develop the mainland entertainment industry. With two big directors wanting to make films, do you think you can handle it all alone?" Yang Yi thought about it and felt it made sense, so she immediately started to act cute. He was worried that his cousin would be deceived. Some women are quite shameless, and seeing that his cousin has money, would definitely come over eagerly. They just want to make money off him. So his cousin must be careful. These women are very bad. Chin Fei thought of Zhao Liying, who had originally planned to give her a set of villas in Beijing. But she didn't want it. That girl didn't want to be supported by him, and didn't need his money at all, relying on her own strength. She just needed an opportunity to become famous, and then, like Yang Yi, she could help him make money. After the celebration banquet ended, Chin Fei left, bringing Yang Yi back with him. The girl had drunk a little red wine and couldn't drive herself, so he drove her back. When they arrived at her villa, Chin Fei stopped the car but hadn't taken her inside yet. Yang Yi suddenly grabbed him and directly sat on his lap, licking her tongue, clearly showing that she was a bit emotional. "Cousin, I don't want anyone to steal you away. Don't leave me, okay?" Holding on to him with a nervous look, Chin Fei felt that she was overthinking it. He also understood that she really cared about him, but the gap between them was widening. Even if Yang Yi became a big star, she still knew that her cousin was more impressive, being supported by so many big shots in the entertainment industry. The real capitalists with cash flow are the only ones in this world. She was worried that Chin Fei would just abandon her, making her immediately want to please him. Looking at him like a dog wagging its tail for food, Chin Fei stroked Yang Yi's face, leaned in, and gave her a passionate kiss, then turned over. Everything seemed to fall into place. A few hours later, Chin Fei helped Yang Yi into the villa, soothing her to sleep and covering her with a blanket. Yang Yi seemed to want him to stay, grabbing his arm, which made Chin Fei smile with a teasing expression. "You really want to stay? Just now? I didn't know who said that cousin couldn't." Yang Yi's face turned red, unable to say a word, shyly hiding under the sheets. Chin Fei laughed heartily, reassured Yang Yi a bit, and then left directly. He still had things to do. The TVB stocks must continue to fall. He couldn't give them any chance to recover, as he hadn't completed his acquisition of TVB stocks yet. Not lingering much, he kissed Yang Yi's little face and turned to leave. Upon returning to his mansion in Repulse Bay, he couldn't wait to check the afternoon stock performance of TVB in Hong Kong. Chapter 46, the TVB stock price roller coaster. Lee's family withdraws investment. Sir Run Shaw stabilizes TVB's stock price, which remains steady at 78 Hong Kong dollars, but unfortunately has not yet broken the 80 Hong Kong dollars mark. After receiving today's forecast, Chin Fei directly predicted twice, leading the way in predicting TVB's shares. The other prediction is about the Hang Seng Index. TVB's shares may break the 80 Hong Kong dollars mark, but this requires another round of suppression. The rise in TVB's shares was expected. After all, Sir Run Shaw wouldn't let his original investment suffer complete losses. This time, he must be borrowing money from everywhere to boost TVB. When he glanced at the Hang Seng Index, he couldn't help but smile. It seems that heaven is on my side, but unfortunately, Sir Run Shaw's era is coming to an end, and TVB's true golden age is also about to conclude. Under the 2008 financial crisis, no company can escape. This time, the Hang Seng Index fell below 11,000, reaching around 10,000, which is absolutely the biggest opportunity. For others, the Hang Seng Index dropping to 10,000 points from a high of 19,000 is a real nightmare. Many in Hong Kong will lose sleep tonight. But for Qin Fei, this is a huge benefit because under this terrifying decline of the Hang Seng, Sir Run Shaw's continuous investment to raise TVB is in vain. With just a small mistake, TVB could plummet, affected by the Hang Seng Index, and fall to the bottom. So, this is an opportunity. An absolutely good opportunity. His account balance is 36 billion Hong Kong dollars. Taking advantage of this Hang Seng Index drop, he plans to short the Hang Seng and aim to make 10 billion Hong Kong dollars first. He withdraws part of the funds to short the Hang Seng Index, while leaving another part, roughly around 10 billion Hong Kong dollars, to look for opportunities to short TVB shares. This is a dual line operation, something Qin Fei used to enjoy. Not to mention dual lines, he could completely control operations with 3 or 4 lines. His strength is there, and he has absolute confidence. In the situation of dual line operations, shorting on the Hang Seng Index, as it drops to a certain point, while making billions of HKD, he reverses and pushes out another 10 billion Hong Kong dollars, continuously manipulating TVB shares to drop. Buying at 78 Hong Kong dollars, selling at 78 Hong Kong dollars, buying at 78 Hong Kong dollars, selling at 77 Hong Kong dollars. 5. Selling short 10 billion Hong Kong dollars worth of shares at 77 Hong Kong dollars. 5. Directly dragging down TVB's stock, waiting for its decline. This time, because the Hang Seng Index fell below 11,000 points when it reached 10,985, the Hong Kong stock market was in an uproar. A veteran stock trader of 10 years said, "The Hang Seng has fallen below 11,000. When will it hit the bottom? I lost too much. I'm already bankrupt." A financial institution said, "Our institution had several hundred billion HKD, and now there's less than 20 billion Hong Kong dollars left. Hang Seng, I hate you." The Securities Trading Center stated, "Our bank stock fund management has lost 30, a huge disaster. Even the bank trading center suffered countless losses, and this time, many stock traders in Hong Kong lost their funds." The shares held in TVB also drastically decreased, with many unwilling to continue holding. One by one, they sold off to stop losses. Just because the Hang Seng fell below 11,000, combined with Qin Fei's short-selling operations, it led TVB to struggle at 77 Hong Kong dollars. And it fell again to 75 Hong Kong dollars, heading towards 70 Hong Kong dollars. If this continues, it could drop below 65 Hong Kong dollars, and perhaps even below 60 Hong Kong dollars, reaching a price of 50 Hong Kong dollars. It's worth noting that TVB's stock price was up to 110 Hong Kong dollars a month ago. Now, it has fallen below 70 Hong Kong dollars. A massive drop. Qin Fei calmly watched TVB's shares decline, a smile forming at the corner of his mouth as he took profits from the short selling after the drop. He continued to short and drag down TVB's shares, making money in 2 ways. He was very pleased, watching TVB drop below 65 Hong Kong dollars. His account balance suddenly reached 53 Hong Kong dollars, 5 billion. He made a profit of 10 billion Hong Kong dollars, a large portion from the Hang Seng short operations. The other part came from the leverage gains from shorting TVB on the decline. 2 waves of profits allowed him to exceed 50 billion Hong Kong dollars in deposits. He wore a radiant smile, feeling very satisfied. But this time, Sir Run Shaw was probably feeling much worse. He tried to stabilize TVB, but as a result, TVB couldn't hold steady due to the Hang Seng Index's decline. This drop has shattered the myth of TVB's stock price stability. Some unscrupulous media seized the opportunity to mock Sir Run Shaw again. Hong Kong Financial Evening News. The Hang Seng Index fell below 11,000, fluctuating around 10,000 points. This time, the biggest loss is TVB. Hong Kong 24-hour fact report. TVB has dropped again, falling over 10, continuously declining. The end of TVB is approaching. Hong Kong Celebrity Daily. Sir Run Shaw borrowed 50 billion Hong Kong dollars, but still couldn't stabilize TVB's stock price. TVB stock price has dropped, increasing losses. Sir Run Run Shaw has already lost 100 billion Hong Kong dollars because of TVB. Hong Kong Dog Squad report. There are rumors that Sir Run Run Shaw has signed a loan of several hundred billion HKD and plans to flee to Europe. Chin Fei couldn't help but laugh. These Hong Kong reports are shameless, especially saying that Sir Run Run Shaw lost several hundred billion HKD and plans to pack up and escape to another country. This is simply impossible. Sir Run Run Shaw is not short of this little money. Given his reputation, if he truly owes several hundred billion, he can still pay it back. Inside TVB, Sir Run Run Shaw watched TVB's shares decline, greatly affected by the drop in the Hang Seng. He saw the Hang Seng fall below 11,000, hovering around 10,000 points, and he felt like he aged 10 years in an instant. He realized that the young man from the Li family was right. The Hang Seng index has not hit its lowest point and is continuing to fall. His TVB is affected and difficult to raise. The only correct choice is to lower it. His young wife, seeing his bad expression, tried to comfort him. Now that the Hang Seng has fallen below 11,000 points, many company shares have dropped, some even going bankrupt, with some experiencing a 100 drop. Holding at 70 Hong Kong dollars is already quite good. It won't be long before it goes back up. Sir Run Run Shaw sighed, looking distressed. TVB is all my hard work. How can I just watch it drop to half its stock price? If it really drops to half, and if someone deliberately buys at a low price, then TVB won't belong to me anymore. His young wife's expression changed, realizing this possibility, and her face turned extremely pale. TVB's shares have 50 in the hands of a group of shareholders, while Sir Run Run Shaw only holds 30. If someone deliberately drags down TVB's stock, when it reaches the lowest point, they can buy a large portion at the lowest price and take over 50 of the shares. That person would then become the new major shareholder of TVB, capable of holding a shareholder meeting and directly taking over as chairman. With 50 of voting rights, they could oust Sir Run Run Shaw and become TVB's new chairman. It's no wonder that Sir Run Run Shaw looks so distressed. It's clear why someone would want to drag down TVB's shares. His young wife, watching this unfold, clenched her teeth and said, "Why don't we talk to that Qin Shao? Maybe he has a solution. Isn't he a financial genius in Hong Kong?" Sir Shao gritted his teeth and said coldly, "It's him who drove our company's stock price down. He must be planning to acquire TVB." The other party was shocked, unable to believe that such a young man, even younger than her, was actually planning to acquire TVB. Did he deliberately lower TVB's stock price to such a low point with the intention of buying shares? To buy up to 50 of shares held by TVB's shareholders. Knock knock. The door to Chin Fei's room was knocked open as he watched TVB's stock drop below 60 Hong Kong dollars. The decline was rapid and unexpected. He felt that once it dropped below 59 Hong Kong dollars, he could directly acquire it. He could buy in at the bottom, as the Hang Seng index was only a little over 9,000 points at its lowest, and it wouldn't drop much further. TVB's resilience meant it couldn't go bankrupt. In the later stages, it would definitely rise again, and his manipulation of the stock was precisely to acquire shares at the lowest point and then complete the acquisition. After becoming a TVB shareholder, he could then push the price up again, making quite a bit of money. While he was lost in thought, he forgot that the door had been opened, and Qin Yao walked in with a smile, holding a cup of coffee, which she placed in front of him. "Brother, you must be tired. I made you a latte, which I specially bought from the supermarket." Glancing at Qin Yao, Chin Fei smiled gently, took a sip of the coffee, and felt invigorated. It helped him focus even more, while Qin Yao set down the coffee, but didn't leave, moving closer to observe Chin Fei's actions. Her face full of curiosity. "Brother, what are you doing so late? Is this the shares of TVB? Wow, TVB stock has dropped so much." Indeed, the data trend of TVB showed a small rise followed by a significant drop, a roller coaster-like decline, leaving Qin Yao wide-eyed, unable to comprehend how severely TVB's stock had fallen. She wore an expression of disbelief. Chin Fei remained calm, sipping his coffee as he said, "It's now at 58 Hong Kong dollars, heavily influenced by the Hang Seng index. Sir Shao is probably powerless now. He must have borrowed a lot of money to push the price up, but unfortunately, it failed. So now, it's impossible for him to drive it up again. This time I win." Qin Yao was surprised to learn that her brother was the one who had driven down TVB's stock. She looked puzzled and curious. Brother, why did you drive down TVB's stock? TVB is doing quite well. If it keeps dropping and goes bankrupt, you won't make much money either. Qin Fei laughed and said, Don't worry, TVB won't go bankrupt. It will rise again soon. The reason I drove it down is that I want to buy at the bottom. Sir Xiao doesn't have the funds to buy in at the bottom, but I do. I currently have nearly 60 billion Hong Kong dollars in assets. If I directly buy 60 billion Hong Kong dollars worth of TVB shares, how much do you think I could acquire? Qin Yao shook her head, unable to imagine how many shares that would be. Qin Fei calmly stated a number that left Qin Yao in shock. Around 15 minus 20, if I'm lucky, maybe even 20, which would be about 10 less than what Sir Xiao holds. Chapter 47. The second largest shareholder of TVB, Qin Yao couldn't believe what she had just heard. She never expected that her brother had acquired so many shares of TVB, to the point where he was almost on par with Sir Run Shaw. This meant her brother would be on equal footing with Sir Shaw, which was truly unbelievable for Qin Yao. She had mentioned wanting to be a television host at the station, but it was just a casual remark because she had loved TVB since she was a child. She adored the dramas and programs on that channel, so it had always been her dream. However, she knew how powerful TVB was, being a century-old television station that had seen so much glory over the years. The honor behind it was something every Hong Konger was aware of. She never truly believed she could work at TVB. But Qin Fei had helped her acquire shares in the TV station, and her brother was not lying to her. Whatever Qin Fei promised her, he would fulfill, which made Qin Yao feel indescribably moved. Seeing Qin Yao's touched expression, Qin Fei stood up and smiled. All right. I haven't helped you realize your dream of being a princess of Hong Kong yet. With just around 20 of TVB's shares, I will acquire the entire TVB. Wait for my good news. He patted Qin Yao's head, and she nodded seriously. She trusted that her brother would never deceive her. Qin Yao, now clinging to her brother, looked even more curious. Brother, now that you're a shareholder of TVB, can we go see TVB? I heard that there are not many major shareholders holding over 10. Maybe her brother was the second largest shareholder of TVB. Qin Fei laughed heartily. That's right. TVB originally had very few individual shareholders. Besides Sir Shaw, most shareholders only held a few percent, with 5 being rare. Now that I hold around 20, I am definitely a major shareholder of TVB. Since Qin Yao wanted to take a look, he readily agreed and planned to take her to see it the next day. This morning, Qin Fei drove Qin Yao to the TVB company. The long-established TVB occupied a golden office building, which had many well-decorated filming sets. In fact, many of TVB's dramas were filmed in this building, and various designs for dramas could be seen inside. Even outdoor sets could be completed here. Upon entering, Qin Yao was captivated. She had never been to TVB before, and ordinary people could not enter. If it weren't for Qin Fei's special status, they would have definitely been stopped. Now that Qin Fei held 20 of TVB shares, the high-level executives of TVB were immediately informed of his arrival, and the promotional manager came to greet him enthusiastically. Mr. Qin, welcome to TVB. Thank you for supporting us. This must be your sister, Miss Qin Yao. Hello, miss. Please follow me, and I will show you around. Taking the two of them in the elevator, he began to introduce the entire structure of TVB. Even now, TVB still had many popular dramas airing, and assigned actors were still performing here, earning fixed salaries while contributing to TVB's productions. They hoped to become popular through the dramas, which might lead to opportunities in films. Even though the chances were slim, many still rushed to join the entertainment industry. Hong Kong was certainly not short of people wanting to enter this field. When TVB needed to recruit, a simple announcement would ensure many applicants. Mr. Qin, this is our drama filming studio. In fact, our TVB building has more than 10 floors dedicated to filming dramas. Many of the old costume dramas and urban sitcoms were filmed here. We have various settings arranged in the building and the best teams. This was the strength of TVB. And Qin Yao was left speechless. Wow, I never expected that the dramas I watched were all filmed here. TVB is truly amazing. At this moment, several actors paused to greet the manager, their gazes falling on Qin Fei. These ordinary actors from Hong Kong were puzzled, not understanding why the promotional manager was accompanying such a young man? Could he be an influential heir from a wealthy family in Hong Kong?